Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look at my windswept style portulacaria afra or dwarf jade. Um, I'll link the last time we looked at this tree either at the end or in the description. But the last time we looked at it, kind of gave it a maintenance prune, but it's been growing outside, and you can tell it's kind of loving life right now. And I think this shoot up top almost, I think it even might go out of the top of the frame, but I'll try to bend it over so you can see, but that thing is really shot up. Almost let it get too thick. I mean, it's as thick as, not quite as thick as my finger, but it's thicker than my chopstick here, so almost let that get too big because I need to keep the top small. But anyway, like I said, it's loving its life, which is good. I like to see growth like this on my trees. One thing I want to show you is, I'll show you that later because I want to trim some of these back, and then I'll kind of get a little closer, zoom in, just so we can see the tree a little better. So just going to give it a profile prune. So first thing, we'll just take this top shoot back and make a nice little cutting, but I've got tons of them, so I don't know if I'll start it or not, but that's already well on its way. It's nice and thick. But anyway, we'll go ahead and just kind of give this a quick profile prune. And like I've said in my other videos, when my trees have grown out this much, my first pass is just to kind of knock some of these long shoots back, kind of see where I'm at with it, and then come back in for a little more refinement pruning. Once I kind of get a better look at the shape after I get all these really tall shoots knocked back. So that's what I'm doing here. So there, I think we've got enough knockback. So let me adjust the camera and kind of get in a little closer. Okay, now we're in a little closer. Hopefully you can see it a little better. But what I was wanting to show you earlier is a couple of my other videos, my recent ones anyway. I had some squirrel issues. Squirrels got to my bonsai benches, and they like chewing on portulacarias, which I found out this season. Out of 10, 12 seasons growing trees outside, this is the first time that I've ever had squirrel issues. But since I posted that, some other people have commented that they had squirrel issues. So I guess I've been lucky, but this is one that got some pretty decent damage to it. I had some of these exposed roots. Had one coming out here that is now gone. Some of these other fine ones are kind of drying up and no longer because the squirrel got into it. And once I spin this around, you can see it really did a number on the trunk back here. And this root here got into the root here. You can see how that's frayed up and those little hairs. But yeah, it got a hold of this one pretty good. But I've got the problem fixed now. I put a kind of a garden bed net thing over my benches, and I'll show a picture over up here in the corner. But I just wish I would have done that sooner before all this happened. But anyway, that's the squirrel update on this tree. So let's get back to the task at hand and just kind of cleaning this up and getting it to be more of a windswept look. So just kind of working from the top down. I've got these branches that are kind of pointing back this way. Not really wanting those. So we'll cut those back pretty short. And this is that tall one here that really, I need to bring that one back almost all the way because that's really too thick. So we can let that resprout from that cut point. Probably should have trimmed that off, but got a lot of trees that are growing fast and just don't get all of them. Let's see what we got here. This branch looks like it's kind of growing down and back, so I don't really want that. I want everything to kind of have the feeling of everything going to the left. So anything that's kind of jumping out and kind of breaks your eye and kind of looks like it's going back to the right, we're going to go ahead and get rid of. Take some of these top ones down. This one's coming out a little far. Some of these are still going back. This one's going back to the right. Get rid of that. This one. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, kind of moving down here, I've got these that I was kind of letting grow to help heal a cut point back here. So I think I'm still going to leave those just to continue, but that's almost healed completely there. I don't mind that little clump. Actually, it's not too bad having that there to kind of break up that little. As long as I can keep it compact and just have a nice little clump there, I don't mind that. But I don't think I want this branch here going off to the right. Now I think I'll maybe look at that back branch. So just kind of looking at it from the front, this branch is too tall, so we'll get some of these that I can see. We'll go ahead and take the height down. Just trying to look through here to see what they look like, and then reach in the back to cut them down. See if that's enough. There's a couple over here that I'm going to take down next. These are some tall ones. See this tall one here sticking up. I want to keep all these pads pretty flat, and like I said, just have that movement off to the right or off to the left. Spun it around and it's now to the right, but I want everything to go to the left. I have the illusion that it's going to the left anyway. All right, I think that just about does it for that back one. Maybe bring some of these down a little bit more. Get that pad back there. Now we'll move on to this front branch. I've got this branch pointing back to the right, so we'll get rid of that. Just shorten some of these up. Just have these nice little clusters. I kind of like that. You know, because the branches themselves kind of give it that windswept look, and then just having these little clusters of foliage throughout just kind of looks cool to me. Don't need a lot done to these up here, just taking them back a little shorter so they can continue to grow. I've got this one pointing down and back to the right, so get rid of that. This one's almost pointing backwards too, so we'll cut that back a little bit shorter. And this one's going back on itself and kind of covering up that branch, and I like seeing the branch. So we'll get in here, take that back some, and then it exposes this branch, which is kind of nice, because this is when I bought this, I'm not really sure, but it looks like it's almost a cork bark, because it is pretty rough, maybe not, or rough bark, whatever you call them, cork bark, but this is pretty rough compared to some of my other trees. I've had this one for quite a while, and when I bought it, the person that sold it didn't really say much about it. It was just portulacaria, so kind of glad. I like the rough look of the bark. It just makes it look like an older tree. So let's take some of these back a little shorter. A few spider webs on here. This is what happens when they're outside, though. Okay, so happy with kind of that look through there. So let's kind of start looking at this whole back section. So let's take some of these tall shoots back and see what we're left with. When I'm working on my trees, and I've got it on the turntable, which is nice, and if I didn't always say what I'm doing, when I spin it around like this, I'm looking at it from the front, which is just a little bit different than the camera angle. So then I look at it and I try to move it back so you guys can kind of see from the front what I'm looking at. But then, I'll look at it from this side, and then I'll spin around and make a cut. It's because I'm looking through here to kind of see where the negative space is and if I'm seeing something pop up. So that's kind of why I spin it around a lot. So if you see me looking at something like this, then I spin around and just take off a back branch and then spin it back. That's kind of what I'm doing and what I'm looking at. So hopefully that helped a little bit. Just taking some of these that are shooting back towards the right, and some of these that are sprouted out from the trunk, because I do like seeing the trunk throughout here, just to, again, it just makes it look like an old rickety tree, maybe growing on the side of a cliff or hill or something, and the wind's beating it down and pushing it off to the left. Move down here and take some of these back. Some of these that are pointing down, move those. I'm just picking these off. They're kind of growing in the crook there. Get rid of those. Just little sprouts that have popped out. I don't really need that for the design of the tree, and plus like I said, I like seeing the branches. So I'm going to take some of these leaves that have sprouted out close to the it's looking pretty good. See a few more up here that I can take back. Just taking some of these cuts off just so I don't end up with dead leaves. I'm going to clean this area up. Just taking off some of these shoots that are up close to the where the branch meets the trunk, just to clean that up a little bit. Take this one back a little farther. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that little clump of stuff there. But these little shoots here I can get rid of. Even though they'll pop right back, but we'll keep getting rid of them. Just spinning it around, take another look at it. Longer shoots, go ahead and take those back and let them regrow. I'm just looking back here, I see this piece here is hanging down and kind of distracting from the front anyway, so we'll get rid of that. And some of these leaves that are pointing down, I just like removing those just to keep the bottoms of the pads a little flatter. Like this leaf here, we can get rid of that. There's a couple others up there, but don't want to get too carried away. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this guy's turning out. Yeah, I think that might just about do it on this one. I think the next time you see this tree, it'll probably be for a repot. I think it's due, and I'm going to try to get it done this summer, over the next month or two. Don't really have time to do it today, but I just wanted to get it pruned, get that big shoot off the top, kind of get that back in shape. And I think we accomplished that and got it back to where it kind of looks more like a windswept style now, and pretty happy. So let me give you a quick spin around. There's the front, there's the left side, there's the back, the right side, and back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.